I think it is extremely important to always stay calm and collected, regardless of how stressful a situation may be. Because when we are calm and collected, we are able to make rational decisions and not make decisions based off of emotion, which could cause us to make decisions that we may regret, or not even making the right decision because we're reacting impulsively with emotion. And I feel like a calm and collected person is someone who is very disciplined, who has control over their emotions, who also has a lot of control over their life. And that's why it's important, man, because like when I was younger, I wasn't a very calm and collected individual. I used to snap at everything. I used to get angry at my mother and my father if they disagreed or didn't tell me to do something that I wanted to do. I would get angry at people that, tried to say mean things to me. I would get angry at my boss and my coworkers. I would get angry at myself, but I realized that the reason why I was so angry and stuff is because I didn't have discipline, first of all, and secondly, I wasn't in control of my emotions, and that caused me to make a lot of bad decisions in my life. And at the end, it caused a lot of destruction in my relationships with people. But as I got older, I realized the importance of staying calm and to be able to have clarity and think before you react. Because a lot of us react and then we think. So we do the opposite. But that just causes a lot of detrimental effects. For example, if you get into an altercation with somebody, say you're driving and someone cut you off and you almost rear-ended that person, your natural instinct would be to be frustrated, to be angry, and depending on the type of person that you are, you may want to lash out at him, about that person. But if you do that, you are risking a lot of stuff. You're risking to get arrested. You might really injure the person, and that person may injure you really badly to the point where you end up in the hospital. And then not only are you hurt, but you're also hurting their loved ones, because now they're worried about you. But the thing is, if you thought first, okay, I'm angry, but you know what? It's not worth dealing with the situation. Then you're able to make better decisions. Then you're able to think clearly. Because at the end of the day, we do have a lot to lose, and we have a lot of people that rely on us as well. And that's why we need to always stay calm and collected in order to go through life, properly. I've also started to develop this skill of when somebody stares at me, right? Because for some reason I get a lot of stare downs. Maybe because I'm living in a foreign country and, they don't see a lot of foreigners. Instead of me just giving them a serious face back, I just smile and I nod my head. Instead of having to react in a negative way or assume that they don't like me or, something like that. By thinking like that, by thinking first before reacting, there is a sense I control the situation. The external stimuli around me does not control me. I control the situation, right? And I strongly believe that if you're a calm individual and collected individual, that can resonate amongst other people as well. People will notice that aura about you. It'll make you more approachable as a person. It'll make you more mysterious. So people it makes you more interesting because you're not revealing all your information all the time. Because a person who's not calm, who's not collected, reveals too much information and may say things that could compromise them or make them look, or they may say something stupid that that they would never really would want to say if they were in a better state of mind. So it's very important to always be calm. Take a big breath in before you react to a situation, and if you were to ever jump into ice cold water, what is your first instinct? Your first instinct is to panic, right? But if you actually start controlling your breathing and you realize that it's just water, it's not gonna, as long as I'm able to control my breathing, I'm able to relax, calm my mind, then you're able to take on the world, man. You're able to take on the world with ease. I started taking like cold showers on a daily basis. Like every time when I wake up, every day when I wake up, I take like a ice cold shower. At first I start from my feet. So I put the shower head on my feet and I work my way up to my legs all the way to my head. And that just sets me up for the rest of the day. That sets me up to be calm. That sets me up to be, ready for whatever type of high stressful situation that I could potentially be in throughout the day. It also makes me emotionally strong because I already started the day off right away by doing something that's high stressful, that's high pressure, that causes one to panic. So I'm putting my body in the fight or flight response first thing in the morning. But that sets me up for success. That sets me up to deal with the potential uncomfortable situations that I may be in. And I'm telling you, the uncomfortable situations will arise. You will have times when people just, for some reason, they just want to pick a fight with you for God knows what reason. And the best way to de-escalate a situation is to just walk away calmly. You don't have to fight fire with fire because that only makes a situation worse. As I said earlier, when you are reacting with aggression and anger to the same level of that person that's acting as the aggressor towards you first, something bad is really gonna happen, man. Like, it's not gonna turn out well. But if you can, 9 out of 10 times when you're in those situations, you're able to get out of it just by walking away. Simply just by walking away, not saying anything, maybe just laughing, or it's better even not to laugh because that could probably like instigate the situation. But it's better to just walk away because some people are just having a really bad day, and those people are not in control of their emotions, but you are. You are in control of emotions. So don't let other people affect your mood, how you feel. Don't let other people do that to you, because when you do that, you're basing your emotions and your feelings and how your day goes based on other people, right? You're letting other people control you. You're letting the external stimuli of the world control how your day goes, how your emotions are. So it's very important to be calm and collected always. And sometimes we may not even be able to control our emotions. There may be times when we just are in a pitiful rage, right? We just go into a rage mode, right? Super Saiyan mode. Or sometimes, we may just be emotional people in general, right? Like, not everyone is able to be calm and collected majority of the time. Some people just are dealing with a plethora of different emotions on an everyday basis. But the thing is, you gotta be able to understand why you're feeling that way instead of just like letting it happen and causing, God forsaken, some consequence that could occur, based off your emotions. You may say something really, really mean that could hurt someone. You may do some physical harm because of how your emotions are, right? But that's why it's important to find a positive outlet. And also to be able to have that emotional awareness. Realize why you're feeling this way. Why are you feeling angry? Why are you feeling sad? Why are you feeling that you need to open up? Why are you feeling these ways? Why are you feeling this? Because you need to understand yourself. And a lot of times we don't take the time to understand our thought, like why we feel a certain way. We just let it happen, but we don't think about it. Why do I feel this way? And the moment you start asking, like, why do I feel this way? And the moment you start realizing that these emotions are just part of like being a human being, then you're able to understand yourself more. You're able to control your emotions a little better because you kind of understand yourself more. If that makes any sense. But yeah, as I said, the calm and collected individual is the most controlled person. Like, they're in complete control of themselves, and they also have a lot of discipline. A person who's calm, right, is able to deal with really, really high stressful situations, and that makes them also a very, like, they're able to make better decisions. They're also in a way smart individuals, because intelligence, there he has high emotional intelligence, and that is a form of intelligence that I think a lot of people are lacking nowadays, is that we just let our emotions control us. We let our impulses control us. Whenever we feel like some form of feeling of loneliness or something like that, we go seek out someone to talk to. Whenever we feel a little bit, horny or whatever, then we go out and let it out through pornography. Whenever we feel just a little bit sad, we do like some sort of drug to make us escape that situation. But the thing is, we need to embrace all of our emotions in order to understand ourselves a lot more. Right? We need to embrace sadness. Sometimes we need to embrace feeling like shit, so we're able to figure out what we need to work on instead of escaping those emotions. And once we're able to accept our emotions, once we're able to understand why we feel a certain way, then we have more control over our emotions, and therefore we become a calmer individual. And I also think that when you experience enough shit in your life, eventually you just start realizing, like, you know what? I've experienced this before, so I know what it's gonna be like. I know what the reaction's gonna be like. I know what emotion I'm gonna feel. So at the end of the day, I know how to respond to it. And it's important to also, when you're interacting with certain people, if someone is sad, if someone that you love is sad, right? Sometimes when you're interacting with that person, that sadness can also come onto you. We also have to be careful of that too, in a sense, because that can also affect us very much. If people's energy can radiate onto others, and our energy can also radiate onto others as well. So we need to be very, very vigilant about about what we expose ourselves to, who we expose ourselves to. That's also very important as well.